This lesson is on line graphs. And line graphs typically will track the change of something over time. So time is always going to be on the x-axis or the bottom axis or horizontal axis, however you would like to remember it. But notice in this picture or in this line graph, I have April 1st, April 2nd, etc. So each of these lines on the bottom represents a day in April. Each of the lines on the side represent 10 degrees Fahrenheit. And so time is on the x. Notice that in a line graph, it's not like a scatter plot where there's scatters all over the place. These we will connect the dots because we want to see the trend of what is happening. So let's answer a question based on this information. What is the temperature change from April 1st to April 7th in Placerville, California, which is, of course, the title tells us that that's what is being graphed here. So they're not saying find each temperature change. They're saying from the 7th to the 1st, using just those two data values, what is the difference in temperature? So April 7th, we had 50 degrees. April 1st, we were at 40 degrees. And so the temperature change is 10 degrees Fahrenheit. And it was an increase in 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So it wasn't a decrease. The temperature actually went up for the daily high temperature. Here's a line graph question for you to try. So answer the question asked and then press play to see how you did. So in this line graph, there is no title, which is a big no-no. But as you can see in the question, it tells us that the graph gives the outside temperature on the 1st of each month. One thing that they did on this line graph that I don't love is notice from 0 to 1, so the first month, they did it in the middle of the space as opposed to putting the 1 here and putting the dot there. So that's what I would prefer if you were making a line graph, is to put it directly over that line. But the question here is asked, what is the highest temp recorded and what month was it in? So if I try to draw a nice straight line, notice that that falls between the 7 and the 8, which means that it's in the, here's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. So it's in the 7th month, which is in July. So that's what month was it in. What's the temperature? I'm going to try to make a nice straight line this way. I did a really bad job. Let's just pretend it's about at 85. So it's approximately 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, it's not an exact because they didn't give us any of the grid lines that go this way or that go this way, and so those are going to be important when you're trying to answer questions based on graphs.